Alright,
I didn't realize you were really pressing it. Okay.
I forgot to count down, and then it threw me all off. I'm not even gonna. I'm leaving it in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to the Gimmick Infringement podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me is Tyler McDowell Blake. And Tyler, I'm shook. Wrestlemania Night 2 was over. I'm a mess. Clearly, can't get my thoughts straight. You were cutting promos off air. I'd ask you how you're doing, but I think we know. So I'm going to kick it to you anyway.
Yeah, man. And I'm still your tag team partner, I think, as always. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't even know
tag team may have
if
broken
it
up.
matters anymore. Yeah, so we just watched Night 2 of WrestleMania. A pro of this, well, there are several pros in my opinion, but a big pro is that the end time of the show was stellar for us, for two grown men who have jobs that we have to go to tomorrow. That's definitely a pro. There's some other things we'll get into, but man, this was a very, very polarizing show. The finish, certainly. I think there were other parts of this card that maybe you liked and I did not, and vice versa. But I know we'll go ahead and get into it. You want to share your emotions right now, or should we dive right into the start of the card? What do you think?
I'm somebody that tries to find an explanation. So I haven't processed what happened yet because I'm trying to figure out why it happened. I almost want to start from the back and work our way up, but we'll
okay.
But because it's fresh right now, but I need to process. So let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. I have many thoughts. This match between Brock Lesnar and Omos. Listen, I went into it with an open mind, thinking like we'll probably get, it'll surprise me. It did a little bit. There were moments that surprised me. They treated it like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. There were bear hugs, the Andre style bear hug, which I really appreciated them bringing that back. I thought that was cool. Omos getting Germaned by Brock, and then Brock getting Omos up for the F5 was awesome. That was a cool moment. It was an awesome spot. This match was 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and it felt like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times that for some reason.
I really thought it was longer. I agree.
Me too. Yeah. So it happened.
It did. Brock got paid. He sold like a champ, which we know he's really great
good at that.
Good at that. I've shared a few times on GI on here that I think it is important to continue building Omos. I'm still in the camp that believes in what he could be. So happy he got this spot, but this match is still such an interesting choice. If you're going to have a Brock match at WrestleMania, non-title, thank the Lord, him against Omos, it was kind of like an LOL, right? When we first got the match announced, I'm like, no. They're going to have this on Raw, or they're going to switch it up, or they're going to add something here. Brad, you're right. It was under 5 minutes. Brock won, totally expected. Really cool to see Omos get Germaned.
Yeah.
And like you said, the F5 brought me back to my days of watching Lesnar F5 The Big Show.
Yes.
In real life, and then on my SmackDown Here Comes the Pain on PS2. So some nice nostalgia there. But yeah, it was a Brock match. I don't have many other thoughts on it besides we know who Brock is. We knew he was going to win this match, and Omos still is waiting for that signature win. And I hope it'll come at some point. You and I saw him live in Tucson this past summer. I think there's a lot of potential there, but he loses another big one, which makes me a little sad.
Yeah, Brock wins, picks up another victory. I think he's 150-0 against minority opponents. Really leaning into that gimmick.
That's another
new streak that people should be talking about, because I don't know what it is, but it ain't pretty.
Listen, man. I still remember that day one.
Bobby has some.
I think it was that fatal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brad. That fatal 5-way where Big E came in as champ.
Yes,
dropped it in the fatal 5-way to Brock, and these people had Brock pin Big E in that match.
Could have been anybody else in that match.
Could have been. We've spoken about it before on and off air. Beat Kofi in the debut of SmackDown on Fox in less than 10 seconds. Yeah, it's the wound is still very fresh there. You're absolutely right. That's a layer here. That's a conversation. I don't like it, but you're absolutely right.
That being said, I thought it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. Brock coming out looked genuinely pumped to be there. When he saw the audience, his smile and his laughing and stuff was like, "Oh, this is cool." I think he was really feeling that moment. So that was kind of fun to see, and really happy Omos got to be on the show. Really happy that MVP got to be on the show.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see Brock on that Hall of Fame stage one day in the
Yeah,
relatively near future. I don't know how many WrestleManias he still has. This is definitely not his last one, I don't think.
no,
But you know,
Ricky Shane's.
he's future first ballot headliner. It's really cool that we get to still see him do his thing.
The next match was the women's tag match, the Fatal 4-Way. Ronda and Shayna won. Ronda didn't really do anything in this match until the end. Just kind of hung out, let everybody else wrestle, and then went in and made a submission. And there were moments in this match. I thought this match was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. There were some really cool spots in it, a lot of great counters. Raquel being amazingly strong, and Liv getting hit in the face repeatedly for like 3 of the first minutes in the match. I thought she was gonna die in there, man. Like the first couple of minutes, it looked like she just kept getting hit in the face by accident, on purpose, whatever it was. And you know, she used the code breaker here and there, and I thought it was great. I thought Chelsea Green was awesome in this match. Huge pops for me when she leapt away in fear onto everybody on the outside. It was just to escape.
Yeah, to the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Super stoked for her. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great. I thought this was fun. The right team probably won, but I thought this was a lot of fun.
I really wanted to like this match. So many talented women in here. So glad that they got the spot. I think, Brad, you and I remember the days of the Royal Rumble where it was only the men's Royal Rumble and the tag team showcase, right? Where it's like these opportunities were only reserved for dudes to shine. Super happy that women got their tag team showcase here.
Yeah.
I here for the spots, you said 100%. The ending of this match really left me with a bad taste in my mouth. So Ronda comes in. It was just like
it's a theme for night.
It felt like just trolling. Ronda gets tagged in, comes in, Shotzi's already laying on the mat, and in classic Ronda fashion, like holds her arm up, is egging on the crowd. They're booing her. She goes right into the submission. Shotzi immediately taps, and the match is over. To your point, I fully expected Ronda and Shayna to win, but the ending was just. I felt deflated. I felt upset. I thought that was a lazy way to end it, and I don't know exactly where the Ronda character is at the moment. I know finally they did turn her heel definitively, but I don't know about you, Brad. I don't know about you watching in Miranda. For me though, it seemed like the crowd in LA wasn't just booing Ronda because she's she's bad, but it was like we don't really. She's not it anymore. She's not the heel we want. We want someone else. I haven't enjoyed Ronda's work for a long time. The match against Raquel on SmackDown was amazing from a few months ago, but the ending of this match just reminded me of a lot of the issues I've had with the Ronda Rousey character since, I don't know, 2019, 2020. I did not like this match.
I think to your point, the WWE has a real problem with the women's division right now, in that I think the 2 championship matches, the right people were in them. The Charlotte Rhea match, people cared.
Definitely.
And then tonight, obviously people cared. That match was great. Bianca and Asuka, that was great. People love them both, but people loved both of them. And then you have Charlotte and Rhea, where nobody knows who the heel or babyface is, but everybody feels a certain way, right? I don't know that anybody really cares about any of the other talent right now because they haven't been booked.
That's the issue. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. It's like point. They're all like very unique, different, awesome personalities that are just absolutely incredible in the ring.
Definitely.
And they're not really using them for anything but like these big hodgepodge, everybody fight everybody matches. And it's like, I don't get to know these characters if they're just either backstage segments and then never in a ring by themselves. It's just it's unfortunate that they just sort of got put in there, but at the same time, they got to be in WrestleMania, and they're going to have some memorable moments from that and some highlight stuff, and I think that's really cool. So I'm glad they got paid. I'm glad they got to be in the showcase of the Immortals. I'm glad they got to do some really cool stuff, but I don't know who came out of that looking better.
Yeah, and also, you know, seemingly no one got injured, so we love that. We
Yeah,
love for these talented performers to get paid. And I should sort of edit my response from earlier. I guess it's not that I didn't like the match, but the ending really just soured me on the entire experience. I also want, I don't know if I should say I yearn for the day in which the women's tag division in WWE is developed, has consistency, where we have, and the men's division has some of this too, right? They fall into this trap where we're not just putting together these hodgepodge teams. I think that was a big issue for me as well, is that these teams just have been sort of thrown together, and I don't have any long-term investment in any of them. And the team that I probably could would be Rousey and Baszler, because we know they go way
make
back.
the most sense, right?
They make the most sense. They were clearly going to win this match, but then you just treat Shotzi. We already saw Ronda beat Shotzi months ago.
Yeah.
And that match wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then Shotzi's just laying there. Ronda gets tagged in. She's taunting and then finishes her. It really soured me on the entire experience, unfortunately. I agree with you. These 8 women rule. This match did not do it for me.
It makes me think of what WWE did to the women's tag division when they had tag teams, split Liv and Ruby up, and then got rid of the Iconics entirely. What?
And correct me if I'm wrong, Liv was just teaming with Rhea. What seemed like to me a hot minute ago. I know it's been a long time because Rhea's had the Judgment Day, but I just like, okay, I guess Liv and Raquel are now a team. But what do you think the chances are that these 4 teams each remain a team post WrestleMania? I feel like it was just building up for this showcase, and then come Friday, at least half of these teams are not going to be fighting together anymore.
No,
Liv and Raquel, I don't think they're going to do that. And then, you know, pick any of the other 2 teams not named Baszler or Rousey.
Natalya and Shotzi made no sense to me, but
yeah,
why would those?
They're not going to stay together, right? It was just for the purpose of this match.
Yeah, and that's fine. But they're not going to stay together. Sonya and Chelsea, maybe. I kind of like them as a combination because they're so different. It's comedic. It's kind of fun to watch. But Raquel needs to go and do her own thing, and so does Liv. Liv was just a champion, and now she's in a fatal 4-way tag match with the team of Natalya and Shotzi. Mm-hmm. What? This isn't RK Bro. This isn't like a KO and Sami Zayn. This is just teams to get the best talent that they could possibly get on the show. So I understand that fully, but you have better NXT tag teams and you broke them up too. So it's so hard to, like, Toxic Attraction would have been a great spot for them if they hadn't broken them up.
Right.
But yeah, they have a tag team, a women's division tag team problem. And I think trying to solve the tag team problem by adding these single stars that you haven't built in a long time, not seriously built. And maybe they've been trying. I don't know. Their stories have been, Sonya's just angry former boss, and Chelsea Green's a Karen character. And I love that. I don't know that Chelsea Green character, I actually think that character might do better down the road. I think her complaining, if she keeps doing that, it's going to get over. I really think that one's going to get over.
Yeah.
We'll see. Bookmark that for the future.
I think there's been, great point. I think there's been an opportunity on the roster for a woman to become that comedy character. Do you remember when Billie Kay was there? Speaking of tag teams, the Iconics.
So good.
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember how awesome Billie Kay was on SmackDown?
Not even wrestling, just running.
No, around. Just being backstage, being a comedy character. Chelsea Green, to me, seems to be the most obvious candidate to be that person and have those opportunities moving forward. So, like you, I'm really hopeful to see what she can do.
And I say all this knowing full well I'm talking about all these unique characters and their character development, and then saying they haven't been built like their characters have. None of them are a credible title contender right now. Talent wise, they all could contend for the title at any time they want. And it's a damn scripted TV show, so it doesn't matter anyway. But they have to build us to care. And right now, I don't know that there's anybody in there where you'd be like, "Whoa, this is gonna happen." The Kana character change, or excuse me, Asuka character change into a Kana prototype, and then into this feud after winning the Rumble, and all of these things building to that moment. The story was right there, and it was easy to tell. And I think everybody was pretty invested in seeing that match, despite the crappy build that they did on TV. And that's what I'm saying. It's like they couldn't even figure out how to do. Bianca's been in some of the best matches, women's matches in the last decade. And almost all of the builds to those matches have been terrible. They freaking screwed up her and the boss, man. How do you mess up Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair? Because that match ruled, but the build to that was so terrible.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
It was not good. I'll certainly have Bianca thoughts later. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It kind of sounds like it seems like Sasha Banks and Naomi were right. Maybe they had a point all those months ago when you know what happened. But yeah, man, I really want women's tag wrestling to become more prominently featured consistently in WWE. So maybe that's a long shot, but I'm gonna continue to try to be optimistic.
Well, you called it for the next match as we're nearing the time of this match on the show here. 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Gunther retains, beats Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. My God, this match was great. There kept being matches where I'm like, okay, this is the match of the night. Okay, this is the match of the night. Over and over in rapid succession here. There was some pauses in the middle there, but I can't say enough about how much I loved this Intercontinental title match. Everybody's chest was hamburger. People were getting the crap beat out of each other. I thought it ruled, and I think the right man won, even though I still want to see Sheamus win that IC belt. That story is becoming almost as big and as important as Cody Rhodes winning the title or not. Much of that to come later. What do you think of this match, Tyler?
Yeah, listen, my man, I am going to take my victory lap. Thank you for prompting me here. I am so happy Gunther won. In my opinion, he's for sure going to break the previous IC title record, which I think is held by the Honky Tonk Man. So get Honky Tonk out of here. Yeah. Yeet him into the sun, as my co-host would say. Gunther is that dude. This match was great. We knew it was going to deliver, and boy, did it ever. I mean, Chop City, the intensity, the the stare downs, and obviously Sheamus and Drew had their moments where Sheamus was going to have the 1, 2, 3, and then Drew pulled them out, and then they had the stare down, and then Gunther comes in and he power bombed Sheamus, I think, directly onto Drew's neck.
Yes.
So I'm glad Drew wasn't decapitated in that, because that looked a little rough. But your idea, your prediction regarding Sheamus walking away was not bad whatsoever. Part of me still thinks that they were going to do that. Clash at the Castle would have made the most sense. So I wasn't shocked by the outcome here, but fantastic match. Gunther is just next. I think we're going to see him in a world title picture at some point. I don't know where you go with Drew immediately. I know they'll take care of him and find a spot worthy of his talents. But every time we see him, man, I think it's just a reminder that he is one of the best in this entire industry. I am such a Drew McIntyre fan. Yeah, I think I go back to those talents we saw live at the WWE house show, Brad. For whatever reason, I think seeing them live gives me a deeper appreciation for their girth and their abilities.
Just enormous.
Yeah, and I don't know, something about Drew just seems like a really good dude. So I think it made sense for him to get pinned in this scenario, though. So perhaps Sheamus still gets that IC victory at some point. But this match was great. I love the gear. I love the entrances.
Yes.
This match was awesome.
He came in with the Walter thing, right? The Walter coat. Yeah. That was not a Gunther coat. That was
that was
coat.
The black and white Jones.
That was awesome. That was so good.
It was so good.
Every bit of it was great.
McIntyre's gear was great. I think he wore white.
When that match happened, Jess and Freya came home from Costco, and I had to go help unload stuff, and I was frantic. I'm like, I cannot miss this match. What are we doing? Why did you come home now? All this stuff. And I came into Freya going, that guy's got a sword. So I knew who was on the ramp.
Well done, Freya.
Yes,
And
Angela.
Drew, not only is Drew cool, but he does wield the sword as
Yes.
well.
I don't really have anything to add other than the Honky Tonk Man's championship run lasted 454 days. What year, without looking, Tyler, do you think the Honky Tonk Man retired?
Oh my goodness.
He is 70. He's 70 years old.
From WWE or
From
wrestling?
wrestling.
Oh, geez.
Debuted in 1977.
Wow. I know it's going to be much more recent than my first guess. I'm going to say he retired from wrestling in 2014.
Good guess. 2019.
Oh, wow.
2019, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was like
heck of a run.
4 years ago. Oh, my God.
I know.
Wow.
Maybe he saw the COVID writing on the wall and was like, yeah, I'm good.
Get your bread, Honky Tonk. I suppose that's okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see he retained. Tyler, this belt matters now. It hasn't mattered in a long time, and it matters now. People that we love have had it. Didn't matter. It's just, it no longer feels like a prop. It's still a prop. It no longer feels like a prop. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to be witness to this.
He's done a great job. His ascension has been one of my favorite storylines in WWE over the last year. I'm so happy for him. I know Sheamus, great find by you, by the way, on Twitter. Sheamus did the banger after banger tweet, presumably not too long after he got to the back. I don't know if he just has it saved in his drafts, but it seemed like the match ended, and then I don't know, when he got to Gorilla, he somehow got to his phone and tweeted that. But these three guys just continue to deliver, man. It's like some of my favorite athletes, whether it's in basketball or any sport I enjoy watching. These dudes are just so consistently excellent. Like, those are the best of the best when you know what you're going to get every single time. Like you, Brad, Marana High School, I know you're going to deliver great lessons every day. There's just no question about it. When you can be consistently great, that is when you are at the top of your industry. And these guys, especially Sheamus, especially Drew, most definitely Gunther over the last year, you just know you're going to get an excellent match. All of these guys are incredible. And this was definitely a highlight of the show for me, no doubt.
I think I fear Drew's chops now more than Gunther's. Those. I
don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of these guys in the ring.
They didn't even sound like slaps after a while. They just sounded like thuds. Those were all of those were live rounds in that match. And to see Sheamus, I think it was Sheamus, tweeted out a picture of him laying next to Drew, all battered and beaten in the back with the caption "just pints." Made me really happy. Seeing the lads in the back. Bianca Belair retained against Asuka. The entrances were incredible. All the entrances tonight were great. I thought they all added something to it. I thought it was great. So I thought this match was incredible. I liked that Asuka used the mist and missed, which is fun to say. And I don't really have anything to add. Bianca retaining was the right call here, even though I want to see Asuka win before she retires. I have no idea when she's going to retire. She might have another decade in her, the way she's moving around and stuff. But Tyler, she's 41 years old. She'll turn 42 in September. I am 40. I'll turn 41 in May. I stood up off the couch to come back here to record, and at least 7 things cracked and popped on my way. So I can't even imagine what that's like, to see her look like she's 10 years younger than me, to move like she's 20 years younger than me. Incredible.
Yeah, she's, again, we mentioned Brock earlier, another future Hall of Famer, first ballot.
Oh, sure.
Asuka, she must be a vampire or something. She is just ridiculously great. Yeah. I loved this match. Again, this was another one that you and I had high expectations for. We love both performers, as did the crowd at SoFi. I agree with you. I'm so happy Bianca retained. This was the rare case where a Royal Rumble winner doesn't end up winning the big one at Mania, but I thought it was fitting. Bianca is so amazing. I loved the entrance, Brad. We knew we were going to get, that's becoming a thing for Bianca now. Not only is she Mrs. WrestleMania or Miss WrestleMania, however you want to say it, because of the in-ring work. You mentioned the match against Sasha last year against Becky. We spoke about it on our night 1 recap. She has become that person. but her entrances are also top tier. This was by far my favorite entrance of the weekend, even ahead of Prison Dom. Bianca took the prize for me to bring out all of those young girls and for them to do their dance routine. And then the one girl with like,
So good.
I don't know how she did it with the legs over her head. It just made me so happy, man. When we talk about Black Girl Magic and we see what Bianca's done in the last few years, being truly a face of the company, it just fills me with so much joy. So I love this immediately. Bianca hits a KOD to win. She is so strong. Top 5 strongest performer on that entire roster.
I'm sure.
The ending felt really different than a lot of her previous matches, so I enjoyed that.
Desperate. I like that.
Yeah. She was definitely on the brink of losing this. So I think they had moments in this match that felt new and felt fresh to me. And like you said, Bianca was definitely having to fight to retain her title. This was not going to be an easy match. Right Woman won. I loved it. And anytime both of these two are in the ring, I'm always going to have a ticket sold.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Last year we had Texas Southern.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I thought, she's doing really cool things, and it translates. I'm glad representation is happening on these shows. That pleases me. It also happens to be the thing that Freya likes the most about these shows. Freya loves Bianca.
We got to talk about the photo. We got to talk about the tweet.
Number one, she was in the car today when they went to Costco. She has 2 Bianca figures. She has the old school one, the one with the white with the lips all over the gear, with the white gear, and then she has
I got that one too.
The blue one and the belt. It might be the other way around. I can't remember what, but she has her first championship gear from Mania, I think. Right. She wore blue at Mania, right? She wore the blue.
Right. I think I got her that figure, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. With the SmackDown belt, blue gear, blue SmackDown belt.
Yeah.
And then the other one, white gear, and then the red or pink lips.
Yeah, that one. No belt. No, that was before the belt. Yeah.
I know my EST figures. I got you.
Smashing them together and making them fight and stuff, basically the whole way to Costco. But she loves Bianca. So when I was watching, it was like, oh, this Asuka entrance is cool. And then she saw the kids come out, and then she was like, wow. And then she heard Bianca's music and saw the lips and the hair, and she was like, oh, Bianca. And then she was super into it and then immediately left the room. But she does love Bianca. I thought that was cool. But she left the room because she saw Bianca, and she's like, she's the champion. And then left the room, and she came back with the Raw Women's title belt around her waist. It was pretty dope. I love this. I love this. I love her so much. I love that she loves Bianca. All of it ruled. All of this. I loved every single thing about it.
That makes me so happy. I can't. I try, but I don't know if I can adequately express how happy the Freya anecdotes, especially when they involve wrestling, especially when they involve Bianca Belair, just how happy they make me feel, man. That is so beautiful. Like you said, representation. I mean, Bianca Belair, all of these women that we've mentioned, right? I think particularly in Bianca's case, though, what she means to so many young girls out there is just unspeakably cool. For Freya, for those, I'm sure those girls on stage today, it's the greatest, really.
Yeah, I think it's really, really, really cool. What's not really, really, really cool is what's next. Yeah, this is. I can't believe it's even on the list. Snoop Dogg defeated The Miz. I popped huge when Shane O'Mac's music hit.
That's sure. I
was like, oh,
the music's great.
Awesome. I love the music. He does the little back scoot thing and the little swingy fist stuff. All I was here for was Shane doing some dangerous stunt, jumping 50 feet through the air and landing on something hard. Turns out the dangerous stunt was jumping and landing. Shane blew out his knee. Snoop Dogg did the shittiest people's elbow in the world. This wasn't a match. This was a segment, and it needed to happen. Like, they needed to have something there to cleanse the palate, because we had this. We had the WWE class of 2023 Hall of Fame. You just got to break up those those big moments, let the audience come down, take a break, take a breath, and then go into the next thing. You know, on AEW pay-per-views, they rarely do that. So there's like no time to process or to stop or to think. It's just on to the next thing. 4 hours is a long time. So by that main event, we're all pretty tired because there hasn't been a lot of breath time in between them. So the WWE does a really good job. I thought they paced this one out really well. This did not feel like a very long show, even though it was, 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes, whatever it was. It is a long show, but it didn't feel like that because they stuck in these short little things to make us go, oh, this is dumb. I can take a break. Tyler, I can move on to the next one. I know you don't have any thoughts.
That was a pop. Yeah, man, I didn't realize you majored in telepathy during your undergrad days. I was exactly going to use my line from yesterday that I have nothing to say about this, but that's a lie because, of course, I'll share a few words. Okay, so number one, I'm gonna do my Stephen A. Smith. Number one, I'm happy that it popped you. The music is undeniably great.
Yeah.
The Shane skip is entertaining, absolutely. And I do appreciate that him and Miz, correct me if I'm wrong, they have some real history.
Yeah.
Like they've even had a match before. I want to say at the Royal Rumble.
I think so, yeah.
That was a thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, once Shane came out, I was just like, didn't have my wits about me. I think I told you I went to fold laundry.
Yeah.
So if they mention this on commentary, forgive me. But I do appreciate that it wasn't just a totally random, like, oh, the great Khali's here. And him and Miz maybe don't have a history. Shane and Miz do. So I do acknowledge that. But I can't stand this, man. I don't know why. I don't know why Shane was there. Like you said, inevitably Snoop and Miz were going to have their situation. We know that's how WrestleMania goes, but I absolutely despise this. And then kudos to Snoop for that audible.
Yeah, he did a great job just going like, oh, this is everything's effed. Let me just do this real quick.
I would be lying to you though, Brad, if I didn't say when he hit the people's elbow, I thought, okay, is this a tease that we may get The Rock tonight? And I know we're not going to, but this is another moment on the WWE PLE where we have a clear Rock reference. And I know we're not going to get him, even though all of us wanted Rock versus Roman tonight. So all of it bothered me. I absolutely despised all of this, but I'm glad it popped to you. And I know you're not alone, right? Shane still gets a big reaction.
I'm not a Shane fan. I just love the entrance and that. And then
here comes the money.
Fast forward until he jumps off of something. I don't need to see anything else. The weird potato fists he throws at people.
Yes. So I can be here for the entrance, but then he gets in and starts doing the potato fists.
Yeah, and all of it looks like
it's a laundry break for me.
He's an super athletic guy that looks like he's not an athlete. Mm-hmm. Like the way his body moves and bends and stuff. Every time I see it, I'm like, this looks like the chess club kid that's late for class that's running through the hallway, like with a trombone case on his back or something, like just flailing around. Just
not Francesca. Yeah.
Man, have you ever played Pong? Do you know what I'm talking about if I say Pong, the video game?
Do you know what Pong is? I think so.
When I saw
That's not a good answer.
when I saw Snoop hit the ropes, he reminded me of a Pong stick that actually hits the ball, which is a straight line. Like the dude didn't.
I'm gonna Google this. I need to be with it here. Hold on.
He just sort of like went straight back into it. Like there was no bend into the rope or anything. It was just all of it was so bad. I felt like he probably got talked to. I don't think he was supposed to be on the mic. I don't think that was a thing that was supposed to happen. So when Shane came out and asked for a mic, and then he's like, "I'm just so happy to be here. You have no idea how much I missed you. It's so great to be back." Knee done. It's like, well, you weren't back for long, friend. Maybe next year. I don't know if he'll ever do it again. He doesn't need to. We've seen all of the Shane stuff. Like he has nothing to prove.
Thank you.
He's a McMahon. We've seen him do all of these things. You don't have to do that. We get it. But it did make me happy that they allowed him to come back after what happened at the Rumble. But then all I could think is what happened at the Rumble was he called an audible for Shane. And then he gets into the ring and takes a mic, which was clearly an audible for Shane. So I don't know how well that went over.
Okay, and along with that, can we address the fact that Nick Khan was quoted as saying this weekend was going to be full of surprises? What surprises, Nick? What what was Brad? Was Shane the surprise of the weekend that we were promised? Who am I forgetting?
I can't. Was Bad Bunny announced?
I don't think so.
Pat McAfee wasn't announced, and Bad Bunny weren't announced. Both of those guys have been in the WWE for forever. It's not like we did not get a Cody Rhodes moment where Cody is here. In fact, Bobby had the I'll challenge anybody at WrestleMania, and then they didn't do anything with it. They just had to come out with that stupid trophy.
He just came out with the trophy, and that was all.
That trophy is like, I hate this stuff in pro wrestling. I hate it. I hate the trophy. I think it's stupid. It doesn't mean anything because all of those things are props, but that's a prop that's totally worthless. It doesn't even mean you're like important. It just exists. It's like when Adam Cole won the Owen Cup. That's cool, but like, you're not defending that belt. It just exists. And that one at least was a tournament, not just a one random battle royal.
Same for Britt, right? Same situation. Britt won the women's, and
I liked that because it made it feel important because it was a tournament. This is just, well, you're not going to be on the card, pal. So get in this battle royal, and then we'll have some reason to celebrate at the end of the night on the go home show of our weekly TV product. And then you'll not be on the showcase of the Immortals, except in a suit, but not a Hurt Business suit. I thought for sure that might happen. It didn't. I thought he might get involved with Brock after the Omos match. It didn't. There were no surprises. I can't think of a single surprise.
I feel deceived. I feel hoodwinked, betrayed.
Michael Cole was surprised.
That he was. What I can tell you though, Brad, something that did, I guess this was a surprise. Maybe this is what Nick Khan was alluding to. This next match.
Yeah.
Edge defeated the Demon, Finn Balor, in Hell in a Cell.
No. Brood Edge did. Even though they played some shitty new theme song instead of the Brood music.
Brood Edge picked up the victory. I am upset with this finish. Not the match itself. Cool with the match. The finish, though. I think I was worked. These last two matches on the card, I am legitimately shocked at the outcomes. This one, believe it or not, infuriates me even more than the main event. So you're telling me the Demon Finn Balor has lost his last two matches? He lost to Roman, not a shocker at Extreme Rules, but the way it went down is still mind-boggling. The rope break from hell. But why is he losing to Edge here? Brad, this is the Demon. I remember watching Finn Balor in NXT, and when he had to bring out the Demon, some dude was about to get his chest caved in and was for sure gonna lose the match. I am so pissed off that Edge won this. Like, Hall of Famer, love the man, grew up absolutely admiring him. I am baffled as to why he needed this victory. Demon Finn Balor, I don't want to say irreparable damage has been done, because I think I believe in him and his talent too much. But I am so disappointed that the Demon has now become just a dude who puts on face paint and brings out purple fog steamers. You would probably know the term for this better, but he's just a dude who paints himself and grins at the camera, I guess. That there's nothing special about the Demon anymore. You can beat him. Screw that guy. Like, just hit him with a spear and some chair shots. He could go down.
You could hit him with some Judgment Day themed kendo sticks.
You can hit him with some kendo sticks. He'll,
No. The purple kendo sticks. Why was everything themed? Why were there red chairs? Why were there I'm baffled here. First of all, I love that the Hell in a Cell structure is new and old. It's the old feel. It's got that old steel cage, like the 90s steel cage feel, but very clearly an updated version of it, all reinforced walls. There's a platform inside of it. I I really appreciated that of it because it looks like the Mankind cell with Taker, but it's very clearly not. Man, I got to tell you, I didn't really care about any of this match while it was happening for the first 5 minutes or so. I just was like, this is stupid. This is slow and plotting and not entertaining at all. They kept looking at each other and then they would do something and they would fight. And then it started picking up. I started getting into it and then it stopped. It came to a screeching halt because Finn got busted open bad. I don't know where on his body he got busted open, but he was gushing from that ladder. And honestly, that's where I became interested in the match. It piqued my interest. I was like, oh shit, Finn's bleeding. The demon's bleeding. Finn Balor, the man, is in there right now, and he's hurt and he's bleeding. I hope he's okay. I hope it's not a serious thing because there's a lot of blood. It was Moxley levels of blood, and I was worried for the dude because medical staff had to come rushing in there. Now it's hard to know with WWE if it's like, oh, this is a real problem, or if it's, oh, we don't want people to see it, which is why they focused on Edge the whole time. You can't clean that mat. Once you see the blood on the mat, it's like, okay, this matters now. And it's just for some reason the match took off for me. And I really liked it. Edge having to use all of the things in the world to stop the demon. They did build him like an unkillable thing before having to deliver concertos.
That's fair. It did. It did take a pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, like an avalanche execution. Or an avalanche impaler, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
The Gangrel DDT, which I thought was cool. I expected Gangrel when they stopped the music when he came out as Brood Edge and he was wearing the mirror ball for some reason, which is nothing to do with the Brood ever. But what do I know? When he came out of the floor and out of the flames and the music stopped, I was like, they're either going to go, they think you know me, and then or you think you know me. Or Gangrel is going to come up afterward. They're going to play the proper Brood music. I even thought there might be a glimmer of hope Christian would come out. Absolutely worked myself into that. My God, man. The finish, I'm kind of with you here. I don't really care. I wish I had more to add there.
I'm jealous of you. I'm so bothered by this.
I guess I wouldn't.
The demon's
either way.
The demon's just a joke now. You can beat the demon.
If
it's no big deal.
If Demon Finn would have won, nothing would have changed. Edge won, that changed. But it doesn't. If Edge loses, it doesn't hurt Edge. If Edge wins, it doesn't help Edge. If Finn loses, it hurts the demon. If Finn wins, it doesn't help Finn. This is a match where it's like it doesn't really help anybody look any better. It can only make somebody look worse in terms of storyline. I thought they both looked great in the ring. I thought this match was fun. I'm definitely going to go back and watch this one again. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was great as far as a match, but as far as story goes, I'm not really sure who comes out looking better out of this. Even though I think Finn bleeding and stuff could even be worked into a storyline. They don't refer to things like blood anymore. So I don't know, especially now they're potentially selling to a very sensitive company that only does Ultimate Fighting Championship things. and has wife slappers as CEOs.
Yeah, that's a yuck for me. I'm sure we'll get into it in a future episode, so I won't be long-winded there. But something I think I will be long-winded on, probably you as well, Brad. Somehow we've made it 43 minutes without really going in depth on this. The main event, I'm sure everyone is discussing it right now as we record. Roman Reigns successfully defended let's get this right, his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This match went nearly 35 minutes. And of course, it was not only was it a Broadway, but it involved the ref bump. It involved interference. It's everything we expected in that sense. What we did not expect is the outcome. I am still processing this, Brad. I am shocked. You sent me a text. I did have my phone on me and I was checking it pretty actively. You brought up a great idea even before the match. And you said, what are the chances that this is booked to have Roman win? But then say Triple H comes out and says, nope, we're running this back. There was interference. We are not ending WrestleMania this way. start the bell, restart the match, and then Cody ends up victorious. So I thought to myself, okay, Solo reappeared. He hit the spike on Cody. Then Roman spears him 1, 2, 3. Brad's a prophet. This has to happen. There's no way Roman is just winning, and that's how they close out WrestleMania 39. Brad, your idea did not come true. The show closed like the last, 2 WrestleManias have? 3? With Roman holding up both belts, Paul Heyman by his side, now Solo by his side. The Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are somewhere in SoFi still fighting. And Roman is victorious. The reign continues. We're closing in on 1,000 days with him at the top of the company.
It's crazy.
I mean, you can start wherever you want to start, but what did you think of this match and how are you feeling?
Still kind of grumpy here. I am cruising through Twitter right now, and I want to give you something here, Tyler.
I'm ready.
These are my WrestleMania 39 trending with and still WrestleMania. This isn't sports, okay? These are the trending for me. 2020 tweets, Jay White. 114,000 tweets. Horrible. 47,000 tweets. Ruined. Rhodes, 67.4 thousand. No LA Knight, 1,700. Roman is trending with Gunther and Sheamus. Corey Graves, 1,100. Vince is trending. Come on, Cody is trending. 2,600 for Ronda and Shayna, which is disappointing. Followed with 159,000 tweets. Terrible. If I go to the United States trends, trending right now in the United States, number 1 is Roman. Number 2 is Vince. Number 3 is SummerSlam. Number 4, Drake. Number 5, Night 2.
Wow. Okay. That's, yeah.
Okay. Dreamville Fest. Dreamville Fest.
Yes. Usher apparently had a great. Drake and J. Cole are actually performing tonight. I was supposed to watch that.
Drake trending with Dreamville Fest with J. Cole. Night 2, 73,000 tweets acknowledge him. Trending with Finn and Asuka. Bloodline, 18,000. Lucky One, let's see. And then Clay Thompson, Succession, Natalie Connor, American Nightmare, Backlash. People are already projecting forward. Jey Uso, Brock, Dusty. No LA Knights on there again. Usos, Omos. -1 with 28.9 thousand tweets. We the Ones, 28.1 thousand tweets. My point is, people are talking about it. Not all of it is positive. According to Andy Nemedy, who is watching the post show, he said in a tweet, I think Triple H is a smart man and I have respect for him. But his explanation to John Alba in the press conference about people potentially not reacting to Cody winning well enough is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Apparently, one of the explanations was that they were worried that people wouldn't react well to Cody winning the belt. Tyler,
I'm not buying that at all.
No. And maybe they're not sure what will happen after. Because in fairness, when Cody won in AEW, he won the belt. People were like, great, this guy winning after he dropped it and then won again. I get that part. Sammy turned into like the biggest babyface in the company by beating a babyface who was not a babyface. And Cody could end up potentially being that for the WWE, because what is Cody without the belt chase in WWE? His story is literally over the moment that he wins that belt. There's no more story to tell after that. So Cody's entire character revolves around winning this title. And then after that, it's literally nothing. What the hell do you do with Cody in WWE? Cool. He's the American Nightmare. Does anybody know what that means? I mean, that's awesome. But like, what motivates Cody Rhodes after that? Because at that point, it's got to be his family. And unless you bring in, Brandy and I don't know, anybody else, maybe Dustin comes back. I don't know. But it's confusing, man. I can't believe it happened. I can't believe it ended this way. I thought we were going to get okie doked. I thought the bloodline was inevitably going to be involved, but it just kind of turned into a big soupy overbooked mess at the end that I'm not the most appreciative of, I guess, in my wrestling, considering how amazing the match was and the build was. At least Bloodline to finish the story. Again, I want to go back. Cody and Roman in the moment. This match is going to be like one of the most remembered matches, talked about matches in history, right? This is easily one of the most memorable, for better or worse, WrestleMania main events. Like easily. This is way better than last year's. Last year's was a good WrestleMania main event, but like, can you remember it off the top of your head?
Yeah, Roman versus Brock. No, not it. The match itself, not at all.
No, because they wrestled like 19 times. So
yeah,
it's hard to remember.
It was absurd that they were the main event.
So, and it makes sense name wise.
100%.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but also the company can't build baby faces effectively.
And they finally did, and they did drop it. Right now, they can't build heels in the women's division, and not effectively. They're just annoying people. It's like don't make all the female heels annoying. That's don't do that. That's so bad. Ronda and Shayna are getting there. I feel like they're doing that part right. Like people are starting to hate him, and that's a good heel. You got to make people feel away and not just annoyed, because then it's just like go away heat all the time. I felt like this was it. Now Roman's going to come out of this being the worst, right? Like I think he's going to come out of this now universally despised because of what happened. And Sammy could have been in that spot. That could have been the moment to pull the trigger on that and then have Cody beat Sammy. But here we are. I think Sammy Cody WrestleMania main event it would have been a great match, but it wouldn't have been this. Not even close. Not even the same stratosphere. However, I would have been fine with Sammy being in that spot and not Cody. So I think we didn't really have much of a story to tell leading to Cody and Roman. Cody has his story. His is for the belt. And he said it doesn't matter who's there. I'm taking the belt. That's it. That's Cody's story. Roman doesn't really care about Cody. He's just the next person in line. There's no story there yet. I think we need to have a story built up, and then we'll care more, and then it'll matter more, and then Cody will win the strap. So I think it'll still happen, but I think they need to spend some time really cooking that story. KO got a couple of chances, and Brock got a couple of chances. There's no reason Cody won't get a couple of chances here.
So there's no doubt in your mind that Cody will be the guy to eventually dethrone Roman.
There's always a doubt in my mind. He's beaten literally everybody. So who else is there? Who are you going to put in there? Baron Corbin?
If I can just bring this back to 2021, we did predict Braun Breaker could be that guy.
Absolutely not.
No
way.
That was a conversation though.
Yes. No way. He wins. No chance.
He's cooled that significantly.
He's just not the guy. Like, you really see Braun Breaker beating Roman Reigns?
Now, no. But that early Braun hype when
in 2 or 3 years, yeah, sure.
He's not going to be the guy then.
Yeah,
There's no way we're talking in 2025 WrestleMania and Roman is still undefeated. It can happen.
I know that the injuries are the reason we had to wait for Cody, but even Cody took a year to get this match. Braun Breaker is going to get called up for NXT and immediately have a title shot with Roman Reigns. No. And I don't think Roman's going to have the belt for 6 years. So there's just too many things in play here. Grayson Waller would have a better shot at this point.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a more interesting character.
Yeah, Braun needs to put in some work on that end. They need to really do something good for him. He needs to continue to improve. And yeah, absolutely. But that was fine, but I think he was before there was Cody WWE. The thought was for a lot of us. I know this wasn't just me. That Braun was probably the only glimmer of hope.
That was like 2 years ago.
Like the thought would be that we would want to cook up that match. Like, okay, we thought this 2 years ago. we've watched Braun for 2 years. Now let's really go with this match. Like, let's make this happen. I'm not saying it has to happen at SummerSlam, but Royal Rumble, WrestleMania next year. It's just fascinating to me that he has cooled off in such a significant way where, we know he's not going to be the guy to beat Roman, but 2 years ago, it felt like a real possibility because there was just no one else available. Like you, Brad, going back to this match. I always wanted Cody versus Roman. Love Sammy, but this was the main event I wanted. I still think Cody is the guy to dethrone Roman. I don't know if that happens at Backlash or SummerSlam or next year's WrestleMania in Philly. But I just thought it made so much sense to do that tonight. You mentioned the news coming out of the scrum. To me, it seemed like the crowd was here for Cody this evening. Brandy was in the audience. We saw Liberty. Super, super adorable moment. Brad, -1 was even there. So the Nightmare family was represented. The crowd was into it. Lots of Cody chants. I mean, his entrance, right? People were singing their hearts out. Huge pop. I'm just still stunned that Cody is not champion after tonight. I'm here for Roman. Listen, man, I went to Goodwill earlier and I quite literally found a Roman Reigns tribal chief tee. So maybe this was an omen that I spent $3 on this, that it just appeared in my life today. Maybe that was the omen that I just didn't fully appreciate. I love Roman. I love the head of the table. I love all of it. But I just can't believe this. This was Cody's night. The crowd was here for it. The story makes sense. He's Dusty's kid. The comeback was there. I'll just conclude by saying, I think what bothers me the most about this match, the finish of it, right? The match was awesome. The finish of it is not just that Roman pinned Cody 1, 2, 3, but the way they booked it was so lacking any inspiration or any creativity. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brad. We saw this damn near this exact finish at Clash of the Castle back in, I want to say, September or October, when Drew McIntyre lost to Roman. That was Solo's debut. He interfered. He hit Drew. Then Roman hits Drew 1, 2, 3. Was this or was this not essentially the same thing we saw months ago? Solo gets booted out. Somehow he ends up back in the arena, in the ring. Samoan Spike, Roman Spear. It's over. That part really bothers me, that this is exactly what we saw happen to Drew, and you're just running it back. There's no new wrinkle. There's no, Trinity didn't appear and attack Cody. Why did we get just a retread of that?
Well, they didn't retread it because at least when Solo debuted, he was debuting. So
this guy's supposed to be booted. Where's security? This guy,
exactly.
He was thrown out of the match.
So when he came back and did that, I thought for sure they were going to step in and say they've ordered this match to continue because Solo was kicked out and he got involved. Usos were involved. Blah blah blah. More and more, Tyler. I don't know if it's going to be Cody that dethrones Roman.
Wow.
I have another idea.
I'm just gonna lay out. I'm ready.
You really want to hear it?
Okay. I mean, part of me does it because I want the guy to be Cody. I still think it's gonna be, but I am here for your creative. I
just no longer think that it's gonna be Cody. I think Cody will win the belt, but he didn't beat Roman. He's not gonna beat Roman. I think the only people that can defeat the bloodline, or the only person that can defeat somebody from the bloodline, is somebody from the bloodline.
So you think main event Jay is the guy?
I think main event Jay. Yeah, I really do. It's an easy story to tell. It's an easy build. Let me ask you this. Do you know any other primarily tag team wrestlers that have won championships in big moments?
Oh, it's very rare.
Yeah, no. So no Big E or Kofi Kingston. So I think
those guys absolutely did. Yes, they did.
There's the potential to have that happen with Jimmy in his corner, with Solo in the other corner. I can absolutely see this be the split, the end of the bloodline, main event Jay takes the strap. Shortly thereafter, Cody wins. I could see it happening. Now, that absolutely feels like something that feels like a Triple H story. Triple H usually comes back to like the closest people, right? All the stories that he was involved in that were like super memorable deals, almost all the time were involving Shawn Michaels. Getting back together, turning on him, getting back together, turning on him, yada, yada, yada. It feels like it's always family related with that stuff. So all the stuff that he did with the McMahons, when he was like, I'm kidnapping Stephanie and marrying her while she's unconscious, and all of that stuff, the whole thing, the corporation, the Ministry of Darkness, all of those things were all family adjacent things. I could see him going, family's the one. They said a while ago he finally sees a path and he knows who's going to dethrone Roman Reigns. And I still am not fully convinced that Jay isn't going to be the one. Sammy might end up supporting him at some point because he acknowledged him. There's so many layers to this that have yet to be unraveled. I think it could end up being Jay. And we've seen the hints of him being disgruntled. And this whole thing kind of started with Jay. So yeah, I could see it being Jay. If we're talking long-term storytelling, Jay Uso has been in this longer than anybody as one of his primary rivals until he had to acknowledge him because his brother was involved. I don't know.
You bring up excellent.
I'm probably wrong, but
no. You bring up excellent, dare I say, cogent points there. You're my guy. I just don't want that. I just want Cody to finish the story, to be the guy to dethrone Roman. That just seems so much better to me and my own proclivities and tastes, I suppose. Right? It's all subjective ultimately. I definitely see a Roman versus Jay match down the line, maybe even WrestleMania Philly. But for Jay to ascend, I know obviously he had the Hell in a Cell match against Roman, so he's main evented a pay-per-view, hence main event Jay. I don't see Jay being the guy to beat Roman. That's supposed to be Cody's spot.
Again, I'm going to go back to Cody. It's finished the story. So if it's finished the story, what's Cody's story?
Is to become the champion.
Yeah. So without the story, what is he?
It was
so. Again, I think I'm looking back at it now, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe this is the right move. They should have pulled the trigger on it in the time. The moment was so big that if I were in charge and I knew that was going to be the finish, I would have been like, call the audible, listen to the crowd. You're gonna gut every fan in this building and then crush everybody at home.
You're gonna crush Liberty in the audience.
Whatever. Do you think
wow.
Like that kid is young enough where it's like, look at this flashing light kid, that she doesn't care. So listen, trust me, as a parent of somebody that age, she was like,
you have expertise in the
put the headphones back on, Dad. This is too damn loud, is what it was. When he took them off, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, put it back on. Yeah, man, I think I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what you do with Cody once he wins the belt. Finish the story. Okay, story's done. It's completed. You have no more stories. So what the hell are you? The American Night Terror? Like, I don't know what. I have no idea what happens after that.
No, it'll be, yeah, there's not a clear direction of, okay, once he accomplishes that, not only for his storyline's sake, but hopefully the fans, to your point, a while ago, hopefully the fans would still be invested in him and would just would be there for him the way they have been leading up to this match. I have faith in him and how they view him, that they could do something. But yeah, to your point, there's not a clear direction of this story is finished. So maybe the fan investment is there as well. I'm just really mystified by this one, Brad.
I have a question for you. Tomorrow night, what do you think would have drawn more people? Cody Rhodes won, or I want to know what the hell? Okay,
I think it's Cody. I think it's Cody. I don't
know.
I really think it's Cody. I do. Cody comes out. Let's see who his next challenger is. We're off to the races. What's going to happen to Roman? Does Roman appear on the show? Is it an internal combustion of the bloodline?
I think all of those things can still happen. Who's Cody's next opponent? What's his path back to Roman?
Money in the Bank this summer.
Who's Roman's next opponent? What's Roman going to do? Is this the internal combustion of the bloodline? All of those questions remain the same. All of them. It's just Roman has the belts and Cody doesn't have the belts. But all of those things are still there. So I'm still intrigued. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm intrigued too. They worked us so well though.
Yes, they did.
The Usos drop. The Usos drop on Saturday night one. And then even during this match, the Usos come out very predictably. Sammy and Kevin take care of them. Brad, Kevin hit Roman with the stunner. Sammy hits Roman with the haluva kick. The moment was there. I will be tuning in. I am intrigued. But this is a missed opportunity.
We got the flip flop and fly. We got the drop down uppercut, which felt very Dustin, not Dusty. The power slam, which felt very Dustin, not Dusty. We got all of that stuff. They called it something else. I don't remember what they called it. It wasn't a power slam, but it was something else. And they also got the Dusty finish. So here we are. Cody should have wore polka dots tonight.
I guess so.
We'll find out what happens. I thought the match, though, itself, it had me. It sold me several dozen tickets.
It was box office. Yeah,
it was one of the best matches I've seen. It's from a storytelling perspective and from a psychology perspective. All of it made sense. The attacking the ribs, the doing all that, until it led to this overbooked nonsense at the end. But yeah, I loved it. I thought the main event was great. But like you, I'm feeling pretty deflated. But I'm getting over it slowly here because it's scripted.
My final question for you. Can we agree night one was so much better than night two?
It's tough. I don't know.
Really? Wow.
Okay, let's see.
Wow. Okay. To me, it's easy money. Night one was once again better.
Theory
but you're
Cena,
not so convinced.
Theory Cena was better than Brock Omos.
100%.
Okay, the men's fatal 4-way tag was better than the women's.
Talk your talk. Yes, and yes.
Gunther Sheamus was infinitely better than Seth Rollins, Logan Paul.
I'm gonna shock you. I agree with that.
Bianca Asuka was incredible. Was it as good as Rhea Charlotte? I don't think so, but I thought it was really great.
Yeah.
Entrance wise.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop beating The Miz. Not better than Pat McAfee beating The Miz.
I hate all of it. I really, it's not a bit. I don't know what it is in me this year, these days, but I just have no time for this at all.
Hell in a Cell was not better than Rey and Dominic. Yeah, you're right. That main event the main event and the IC title match sort of carried the night. I thought the Hell in a Cell match was a lot of fun too. And Bianca and Asuka was great, but I feel like the main event and that IC belt match really carried the show, where there were, I didn't love the 6-woman tag match, the 3-on-3 night one, but we had Rey and Dominic, Rhea and Charlotte in an all-timer, and then we had the tag match to finish the night. And that men's fatal 4-way was, my God, it was so good. Night one, I think, wins again. Looking back at it, I probably have to process. I'm probably going to say it's not even close, but there were some moments in night two that I really liked. I thought it was a great show. Don't get me wrong. Night one was just like next level. Night one last year had me feeling so good by the end.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Owens wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin, Tyler.
It was special. I think it's really going to go down. Certainly is one of the best of my lifetime. Mm-hmm. I think that WrestleMania, particularly night one last year, is going to go down as, it's all subjective, top 5, top 10, what have you. I think it's going to go down though as one of the greatest. It was just, it was amazing.
Now, to close this out here before we get into the actual closing, No LA Knight on this card in LA. No LA Knight in a backstage segment. No LA Knight at all. I am baffled by this because the roof would have blown off for this dude coming out. Like if he walked out there and just went, "Let me talk to you," and gave him a couple of yas, I much would have preferred him coming out to fight the Miz. Or just have like a mic battle or something. You have two of the best talkers. They both claim to be LA or Hollywood. Yes, please do that. No Bray Wyatt. When I see illness, given all of his other past stuff, it really troubles me. And hopefully it's not because people were shitty online. That's my fear. It kind of feels like that might be what it is, but I have no idea. We don't know anything. We literally don't know anything, nor should we, I think, unless Bray himself comes out and says something about it. If William Rotunda wants to disclose medical information as a gunshot goes off outside somewhere. Yeah, it's a little troubling living out here in Confederateville and hearing gunshots pop off at 10:15 at night. Feeling really good. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to add other than there were people not on this card that probably should have been.
Yeah. So eloquently put, man. I have nothing to add there.
Very eloquent. ADHD Jones here. Just
no. You're right about LA Knight being a real omission. Obviously, we hope Bray is doing okay, if not doing well. And yeah, man, it's going to be a really interesting few weeks of programming for WWE. But wow, we got through it, Brad. Somehow. We thank you all so much for joining us for night 2. Hopefully you're able to check out night 1 as well. Hopefully you're able to check us out. We are everywhere. We do have a website, gimmickinfringementpod.com. Please check us out. We write articles about wrestling, about pop culture, about just everyday life, teaching, anything and everything. We also have all of our most important links on there. We have some love for our 19 Media Group. Brad does an incredible job with the logos and the templates and the designs. It's pretty beautiful, if I may do so myself. Once again, if I do say so myself. Once again, that's gimmickinfringementpod.com. And finally, we are on Twitter. Follow Brad. He is at WindDuster. I am at Tyler J. McDowell, and we are at GIPod19. I am fumbling over my words because my feelings are still hurt. We are so thankful you're here, and we hope you will join us for the next one. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Good Pods, our premier partners, and Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.